David, you've been Ziggy, you've been Thomas Newton, you've been Aladdin Sane, you've been John Merrick. Today, is it David Bowie I'm speaking with?
I think, yeah, I'm a lot more confident about being David Bowie or David Jones, since I felt that I could write songs that had less to do with characters and more with personal or emotional statements.
You won't use any more characters, or is it
I can't really see that in the future in terms of music, unless it was for a particular conceptualized piece of rock theatre. But for the moment, I'm quite content in interpreting my songs in a naturalistic fashion.
Everything you do, music, movies, your videos, theater, painting, and even interviews, as I can see, you do it with the same strength in creativity. How can you find a balance between all these occupations?
Still thinking that they're important to me. If they weren't important, I think the lifelessness would show. And I hope that I'm intelligent enough to realize that I should get out and stop doing that particular form if there is no real strength in it, or if it doesn't have a purpose, if it seems purposeless, then it's not worth continuing.
You used to say that you were using music to achieve something, and that you had in mind an idea or a feeling you wanted to get across.
Yeah.
Have you still the same feeling?
Yeah, I think, again, over the last 2 or 3 years, the idea of just working with the song as a form in itself, for itself, has fascinated me more than it has done for a long time. But originally, yes, I was really setting out to create an ambience, an atmosphere with my writing. But that has been changed now.
There is no doubt that you deeply influence a whole new generation of people regarding look, music, attitude. How do you react regarding all these followers?
One is flattered, of course. But I think that that's where the interest ends, really. It's the kind of music that I listen to myself is probably very different from that which is played on most radio stations.
Did you listen to the Bauhaus cover of Ziggy Stardust?
Yes. Very enthusiastic, I thought.
Yeah. 8 years after your song Fame, how do you relate to success, and what is the importance of your public image in your everyday life?
I think I've been able to reevaluate success in terms of what it means to me. And what it doesn't mean is living a kind of a rock and roll, or that sort of fatuous existence. What it has done for me in a positive way is that it's enabled me to travel to areas of the earth that I've always wanted to go to. And that in turn has helped me understand why I want to write, I think.
From the time of young Americans, we could feel your attraction for soul music.
Yeah.
But as you defined afterwards, young Americans as plastic soul, would you say about today's Let's Dance, that it's a natural soul?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more natural format. I think a lot of the stuff that I did on Young Americans was pretty over the top. I think it had a lot to do with I was still pretty besotted by America and by places like Philadelphia and Chicago and Detroit. So the whole thing came out more like a cartoon than now I've lived in America for some of my life. My experience with America has mellowed more into a more relaxed understanding of American music. But it's still, I think, a hybrid music form. There's a lot of European content in my music.
Nile Rodgers, who co-produced your new LP, describes it in The Last Rolling Stone as a very modern big band rock. Do you agree with this statement?
I think certainly to 2 or 3 of the tracks, yes. Again, both of us were great fans of people like the Alan Freed rock and roll band and Red Prysock, and even things like Stan Kenton cropped up in our talking. I would like to go further with that concept. I don't think I've gone far enough on this album with that. It would be intriguing to write an entire big band album.
How did you get the idea to record this song you co-wrote with Iggy Pop, China Girl?
I've been fascinated by Iggy's lyrics. I think he's probably one of the better American poets, first and foremostly, above being a rock artist. I think as a poet he's absolutely of prime importance. That particular song, I think, is one of his stronger lyrics, and it's something I've coveted for years. Ever since he performed it, I want to do that song.
You said once that you like bits and pieces of your old records, but not a complete one. What about this new one?
About the new one?
Yeah.
I guess my favorite tracks. Let's Dance, I like very much. China Girl, Modern Love, and I guess Ricochet from side 2, my favorite pieces.
After all these cities that were so important for you, cities like London, Berlin, Los Angeles, New York, where did you choose to live now?
I guess to all intents and purposes, I have a base in Switzerland, but being a pretty confirmed traveler, it's very rarely that I'm actually there. But I have an ongoing love affair with Australia at the moment. I find that a fascinating country. Polarized and new and exciting.
Is it going to be an influence on your music too?
I don't think I'll be working with didgeridoos and wobble boards, no.
You have a new record, 2 films coming out,
yeah.
The Hunger and Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, and you're going to start a new world tour. Could you just say a few words about the movies and the design of the
Sure,
tour?
yeah. The Hunger was with Catherine Deneuve and Susan Sarandon. And it's a kind of a new wave vampire piece. I was drawn to doing it because of the involvement of a makeup artist called Dick Smith, who is pretty much known for his extraordinary makeup jobs in films from the past. Exorcist, I guess, is the main one. And working with him was an incredible experience for me. Because it's a boyhood fascination, I think, to want to put on lots of strange things and look like a monster. And the other one, Merry Christmas, I've been a fan of Oshima's for a number of years, from The Boy and The Ceremony, 2 films. And this is the first film that he's done for 5 years, since Rome and the Census. And I think for me, that's been personally the most fulfilling of the 2 movies.
And what's going to be the design of your new show on stage? Secret?
No, I think it's elaborately simple. It still plays, but I've always had a fascination with lighting, actually, rather than set. I think the lighting will be fairly extraordinary and should create the environment rather than a great massive set itself.
I've got the last request to end up this interview. I just would like a declaration from you in French, but something apart from you can be heroes that everybody knows already, you know, from you.
Can we be heroes? I wonder.
Oh, yeah.
That's my statement.